Boston Musica Viva is the most important new music ensemble in the Boston area, for sure, and in my opinion, it is the most important new music ensemble in the United States. It has a long and impressive history of presenting commissions by upwards of 100 composers.
Very early in my composing life, at the time of my second opera, I was fortunate enough to have a production with Boston Musica Viva of Full Moon in March, conducted by Dick Pittman, directed by Nicholas Deutsch. This was actually the first opera production I was ever involved with. And I learned a lot from it. It went to Tanglewood. It was performed more than once here in Boston. And it was, I think, a kind of turning point of my early compositional endeavor.
Working with Boston Musica Viva has had a great impact on my career, mainly through the prompting of creative avenues that I otherwise wouldn't have traveled. And even though I've been at this for a long, long time, I'm always impressed by how well Richard Pittman is able to somehow intuit an area that I've yet to investigate and have the faith that I can actually do it.
Richard Pittman took a very big chance on me because he commissioned me when I was basically an unknown entity in Boston and gave me the chance to prove myself. And for somebody of that standing and in that kind of a position, with that kind of a track record, to take a new composer and say, you know, I want to hear more from you, is just an incredible gift, and I think represents a lot of what Boston Musica Viva stands for.
I've had the opportunity to write for a group with an incredibly distinctive personality. There are many risks that I wouldn't dare to take with any other ensemble.
Each of the 6 principal players with whom I've worked with in many, many different ways are just a tremendous joy to work with. They are willing and able and more than able to do the kinds of things that I'm interested in exploring in my music, and it's always a pleasure to hear them perform.
There's nothing more that a composer could want than to hear his music or her music performed at such a high level. If you look at their repertoire over the years, it's a virtual who's who of contemporary American music. But to Richard Pittman's credit and Boston Musica Viva's credit, a lot of those performances actually came before these composers had gone on to their illustrious careers.
They're also willing to take risks with young composers, to program their works not just once, but enough times for the audience to really start to get a sense of a composer's personality.
Dick is always interested in what is new. He's not committed to any doctrinaire view of what new music ought to be.
The institution, Boston Musica Viva, is providing a great service to us and bringing music that we otherwise wouldn't hear. It would, in fact, be impossible to hear.
With the family concert, where I got to work with and have my music performed for tons of young people and their families, and a lot of people who probably wouldn't have ended up in a new music concert through any other avenue.
Ensembles such as the Boston Musica Viva are like galleries in fine arts where works of art which are not yet stamped with approval or the test of time are sorted out and evaluated and reacted to by an interested public. It's out of this crucible comes the durable music of the future.
So if you look at Boston Musica Viva, you can see the future of American music right there.
Institutions like Boston Musica Viva make my life as a composer much richer, and they give us many opportunities that we might not have elsewhere.
It's important that we keep this journey of musical discovery alive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting Boston Musica Viva.